Hi guys, good morning. It is Sunday, July 22nd. How are you all doing? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ingeborg. The channel's name is A Stitch Too Far, and thought I'd take a minute to thank anyone who has subscribed or has left a comment in the last, I don't know, months. If you're a new watcher, welcome. I hope you'll enjoy the video. Maybe you want to subscribe. If not, that's fine. I'm going to be talking about my stitching. I have some projects, some progress on projects, some finishes, some fully finishes, some experiments, some fabrics, and I just remembered I wanted to get out the DMC, but I'm just gonna go out to colors instead. So where to start? I'm just gonna start with what I've been working on. I'm still using my rotation of during the weekdays work on a bigger whip and during the weekends work on a small, which is turning out to be rather fun. So last week, not this past week, but the week before, I took out a bigger project that I haven't worked on a lot because I was struggling with colors. Let me find here it is, don't mind the mess. Praise of the Needle by Works by ABC, Arlene Cohen. Love you, Arlene. And I picked it up last week, and last time I talked about this, I was still working on the border over here, and I picked it up again because the first time I was stitching this, I didn't like the effect of the variegated thread I chose, but I'm stitching over one, so I didn't want to pick it all out. So I finished, last time I finished that whole top border, and my goal was to get to the end of this one, and I didn't quite get there because I, of course, last time I underestimated my goals, and now I overestimated, or vice versa, I don't know. Anyway, wrong way. Here we are. So I managed to get quite a lot done, about 2/3 of that border, and yep. I'm getting used to the top border because when I was stitching this I thought it was, well, it was a bit too boring maybe. But yeah, no, it's fine. I'm stitching this with my LNS's threads, Paradijsgaren. I will link them below like I always do. But they're, as I said last time, they're in the middle of the process of getting ready to move. So I need to find some time to get over there for the last time if I get a chance when they're in the old shop. But yeah, loving this. Nothing else really to say about this at the moment, just enjoying stitching it again. Okay. And then in the weekend I picked up my Biscornu pattern again, the blue that I showed you previously, and that was a lot more work than I thought it was, but at the end of the weekend I was so close to a finish, I decided just to stick with it and finish it, and I did. And as I mentioned before, I wasn't too sure how this would work out as a Biscornu, but I did finish it as a Biscornu and I'm pretty happy with it. So here it is. Now I asked people to tell me what they saw in this picture when it was progressing. I saw a man's torso, if you turn it like this, It could also be a nose and eyes, maybe. But other people saw like a flamenco dancer's dress in it, or I'm not going to mention your name, but someone saw a butt with a fart coming out of it. And someone saw a fish jumping out of the water, or like with one of those goldfish with the fancy tails, which I can see. And now it actually has an eye as well with a button. But yeah, it's supposed to be a flower like this with the leaves here and the stem and then the whole flower coming out of it. But yeah, I love it. I think it turned out really well. Yes, and yeah, I think it works as a Biscornu. So yeah, I love these things. The pattern came from a Dutch designer, Alita's. I don't know if this is going to be in focus, but Alita's Borduurpatronen. I will link it below. She does offer shipping to abroad, so for that, if you want to know more about her patterns and how to get them, you can contact her. Her email address is on the website. Yeah, really fun designs. So that was my finish. And then this week I picked up, after I finished the Biscornu, I picked up The Garden Party by Mirabilia, which will end up looking like this. And I managed to get more in the dresses done. I first picked up this side and finished up a lot on this dress. It stitches up pretty fast because it's not that many colors and it's pretty large blocks of colors. So I just highlighted one color and stitched that all in, and then the next one, and etc. And then I went back to this side and added in most of the flower border. And this is quite busy, but it's a lot of fun to do. And then after this is done, the rest of the dress is mainly white, so that's gonna go pretty fast as well, I think. So this about here is the halfway mark as well. So yeah, finally getting some good progress on this piece. And I had to scroll up the scroll bar so you can't really see the whole thing anymore, but yeah, really enjoying this. As always, any information about fabrics I use or pattern flosses I will have in the description box. And that's all I stitched on. Not all I stitched on, because I finally fully finished the Jane Austen piece. If you remember, before I left on my holiday, I was finishing up this piece, and it's glary as all. This is by Modern Folk Embroidery, and I did my own adaptation of it. And I finished it, but in the end I wanted to add Jane Austen autograph. Yeah, autograph. And I asked for some tips, and thank you for everyone who left some tips, Mary Rose especially, and Marie, because I used your couching technique, Mary Rose. I'm getting confused with the Marie and the Marys. But yeah, that was really interesting, and I think I used my own sort of version of it because I did do some back stitching as well on it. But yeah, it worked out really well, and Marie was so kind to send me some of this tracing paper that she had. And I tried that out, and it comes in two types of colors for light and dark fabric. So you have a yellow one and the blue one. I used the blue one. And what you do is you put the color side onto your fabric, and then on this side you put an example of what you want to transfer, and then you go over it with a pencil or a pen or something hard, and it transfers with the color from this side, it transfers onto your fabric, and this you can erase or rinse out. I didn't have to because it covered quite well, and I can't see, I think it must have faded as well because I can't see where I used it anymore. But that was really helpful. Thank you very much, Marie, for sending this to me. I will get back to that shortly. And I had found an autograph on internet, and I was playing around with it to see what size would fit. So I printed one out, and I just went like this on the back of the fabric. I could see through and see if it would fit or not. So like this on the back, and with the light shining through, I could see enough of how it would fit. And it turns out that whatever size I chose, the best one was without her first name, so it would just read Austen. And then I printed it out on some graph paper as well, just to get an idea of how to position it. And then finally I transferred it onto the fabric, and I stitched over it using the couching technique that Mary Rose has shown us, and a bit of back stitching as well, just to keep it nice and neat on the back. So this is what I ended up with. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. So here's the whole piece now. And I'm showing you the front, yes. Am I? Yeah. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. And I'm gonna look for a frame. I have been looking for a nicer frame than just the normal IKEA ones or Action ones I get, because I think this one deserves a bit of extra care. So yeah, I'll keep you posted when I have it framed. But I'm really pleased with this. Thank you all for your help on this. So there. Then Mav in Paris, if you haven't found her channel yet, I think I mentioned her before. Go check her out. I will link her below, and I will link Mary Rose's couching video if I can find it as well. But when she sent me this, she also included a beautiful card of a Van Gogh painting. And I love this painting. Thank you very much, and I love everything you put in the card. And she added a little gift for me, and I love this. I love this. It's from one of the needlework shops in Paris, Les Bonheurs des Dames. I will try and find their website and link it. Because, oh my gosh, look at that. That's so cute. And everything to do it is inside, including the pouch. Thank you so much, Marie. That's really, really nice of you. Oh, yeah, another small that I can make. So, then I was in a fully finishing mode from last time, and I found online, when I was looking for frames for the Austen piece, I found a good frame for my Mother Maya piece by Ink Circles, and I forgot to bring the pattern, but you've seen it many times, and I don't have it anymore because I sent it to Emma. Yeah, go watch Emma, Stitch Em, I'll link her below. So I found a frame that I really liked, and I'm so happy that it worked out as I hoped it would, because now it is framed, and it is, I used, I don't normally put back in the glass, but I did this time. So there's going to be glare and problems showing you this, but yeah. Sorry when I'll try to find a decent spot. I think this is it. So yeah, I framed it. It was perfect size. I didn't want a big border around it or anything. I like normally I pin this onto foam core board, and then I just put it back in, and it fits perfectly. So yeah, I love this so much. Yeah, now I lost the, oh, here we go. Yep, so it's hanging on my wall now. Love it. And I totally forgot that this piece was called Butt Snake, so Simon, thank you for reminding me. If you want to know why, you have to go back to one of my videos when I was still working on this piece. I can't remember which one. But yeah, or check out Instagram where I post on about this. So there, then we have this, what is this? Oh yeah, now we come to plans. Let's check my notes first. Yeah, I did that, I did that, I did that. Yeah. I showed you, I think last time I bought some more Salem pieces and I was asking for advice on how to combine them because they were gridded on different grid sizes. So the squares in the grid were different sizes, so you couldn't just cut and paste. And then somebody would, I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was at the moment, but I did thank you. They suggested that I would I could enlarge one of the pieces to fit the other size, or how do you say, decrease? I don't know, to make smaller one of the to copy into a smaller size one, and then it would fit. And I tried it out. I have my own copy machine at home because of my business, and I fiddled around with it, and it was pretty easy to actually, with a few try outs of the pre-settings on the machine, turned out great. So I was cutting and pasting all evening on, I don't know, this week sometime. And I have managed to come up with a design. And I'm debating if I'm going to show you, but I can show I can show you a bit, just to show you how it looks. I made my own grid and I cut out the pieces and I stuck them on here. But this is the size. I'm just going to show you the back and a quick ta-da-da. So yeah, so what I did is I used elements of all the three charts and I just regrouped them, and I added the dates of the death of the accused people behind their names. I added one name because it was missing, and I left in one name because and I talked to Jesse Marie about this as well. I was debating because there was one name on there that was missing, and instead there was a name of a lady who had died in prison before her trial. And I was debating if I would leave her out and just replace the name of the person that was executed, or leave her in. And I decided to leave her in because there's one other name on here, Giles Corey, who was pressed to death, and that was not actually his official execution. That was part of his, as I understand it, it was part of his torture, trying to get him to confess, and he passed away from it. So I decided if he could be in, I could include Anne Foster as well, who was the last who died in prison, waiting for her trial. There were people who escaped, there were people who were released, there were people who were, I think, pardoned, there were people who were giving birth to babies, and then babies that died. Yeah, this is what I chose. Let's just leave it at that. And it's not going to be, it's how I did it with the sticking onto a graph. It's not going to fit perfectly, so I'm going to have to stitch bit by bit to make sure that it will fit the way I want to. And I plan to start on the bottom left and then work my way out and work my way towards the names. And when the names are in, I know that the placement of the rest of the elements will work out, hopefully. And so the bottom left is this bit. I'm sorry, it's terribly glary. This is by Witchy Stitch on Etsy. I will link all the people for this these charts down below. So this is the bottom left for me. I'm going to start there because that's a big pattern and it will give me some point of anchoring my design. The other ones were The Witch of Salem by Primitive Hair, and this one I can't show, but it's Echoes of Innocence by John Shirley. It's individual gravestones. So I was rummaging around trying to find fabric for it, and I think I found the perfect in my stash. It's one of xJudesigns, of course. I will link her Etsy shop below. This was a fabric of the month for February, primitive, called Brown Sand, and I think it's perfect. Let's see what you can see. Of course, it's always showing up lighter. But yeah, it's a brown gray color, beigey brown. And yeah, it's darker than this, but yeah. I love it, and this means that every thread I'm going to pick, that's not going to be perfectly black, not bluish black, but brownish black and brownish gray. So I have here a whole bunch of threads that I have been sorting through, that I hope that I will find some that I can use. And I planned on using Weeping Willow, the green, and Grecian Gold, I think this is, by Gast. And I plan on using, let's find it, Onyx by Weeks Dye Works. I plan on using, where is it? Garden Gates, maybe. Carriage Black. And I'm planning on using Cinders as well, and Tin Bucket. So quite a few different kinds of variegated browns and blacks and reds are going in here. And I'm just gonna go by eye and see what fits best. But yeah, I got some Cinders too. Thank you, Michelle Garrett, for showing me that, because that is really interesting. It's a dark, really dark burgundy with some lighter tones in it, and I love it. I think I will use that for the names. And this was a 40 count linen, hand dyed. So I'm going to stitch it 1/2, and it's going to be approximately 260 by 240 stitches. So it's big. So, and I'm going to start it soon, because that's why I'm showing you. Because that brings me to Jessie Marie again. Jessie Marie does stuff. She has an anniversary coming up, 5 years on YouTube with Flosstube videos. Congratulations, Jessie Marie. Jessie, yeah, I think you go by Jessie, right? And she's gonna do a sale for that, and it's gonna be 5 days. And in Jessie Marie style, she has letters that you can incorporate into what you want to stitch on. So it's going to start at the 29th of July. I will try and find her video and link it below where she talks about this sale. So it's going to be 5 days, starting on July 29th and ending on August the 2nd, when that's her anniversary day. So on the first, you have to find something with a J, and the second day you're going to have to find something starting with an M. On the third day you're going to have to find something starting with a D, or not starting, but incorporating D. On the 1st of August, which is the 4th day, something with an S, and on the 2nd of August, which is the last day, you have free range. So J, M, D, S, and then a free day So I have been looking for things so that I would associate with Jessie, and that I could do that would not mess up my plans too much, because you know that's just me. And I have come up with a schedule that I think I'm going to enjoy. Yeah. So on the first day of the cell, the J, I am going to start this. It's a small. It's a Renato Paroline, not sure, I think it's Italian. Yeah, he's Italian. Fleur et Fruit, number 9, a pumpkin, I love it. I'm not much of a Halloween stitcher, but this one I liked. This one I picked because Jessie Marie does love Halloween stitching, and this is basically a jack-o'-lantern, so J for jack-o'-lantern. Hey. So, new start, and I will show you in a bit what I'm going to start it on. But yeah, love it. And it's all DMC, so pretty easy. And I didn't bring that. Hang on, and I'm back. The second day is the M, and I am going to work on something with beads, because Jessie Marie loves beads. And I have this Mill Hill kit, so M for Mill Hill, and oh no, that's the wrong one. Yeah, this is the one I have been working on. I finished all the stitching, and now this is my travel project. Now I'm ready to do beading, but I'm not going to bead in the train. So I will pick this up for the second day of the cell, for the M, and start beading on this Mill Hill kit. The third day, the D, I picked out a big project because Jessie also likes to work on big projects. And this is going to be Death by Cross Stitch, because of course that we all will die by cross stitch someday, hopefully. Still cross stitching. And D for long dog sampler, and dog as in Thor. So yeah, D. And the fourth day is the S. And my first thought was that I was going to work with silks on my garden party. And then I managed to get that Salem chart combination worked out. So the S for Salem is going to be my fourth day. And now I have to take some water. So the S for Salem is going to be my fourth day. And I might try and start it up already before the fourth day, but yeah, I will get a start on that, and that's why I have it all kitted up. And the last day is a free day, and I figured it's an anniversary, so it's a party, and Jessie Marie loves Mirabilia, so I'm going to be working on my garden party. Yay! So these are my plans, and that brings me to my final, not my final thing, but one more thing I wanted to share, because I bought some fabrics. I was looking for some fabrics. I was looking for more colorful fabrics in smaller counts than I usually have, because there are some smalls that I have lined up that I think will benefit from more colorful backgrounds than the usual more neutral fabric that I pick. So I decided, I was on Judith's webpage on Etsy, xJudesigns. I will link her below like I always do. And I found some smaller cuts, and I was doing some calculating with a cross stitch calculator to see how big the designs could be that I could fit on that if I stitch over one, which I prefer for the smaller counts. And they should all fit, so I managed to snag a whole lot of smaller cuts for a decent price. And I'm going to show you. And I wrote down somewhere, oh here, the DMC colors that they most resemble, to me at least, to my eye, so that you can actually get an accurate color. And I checked with the color that she gives, and I think in almost all cases she mentions that color as well on her description. So you know that her descriptions of what color the fabric is are pretty accurate. I'm gonna have to look around a bit to see where I'm at. So I'm going from low to high count. This is the 25 count linen in nutmeg. All of these have no really big mottling on them, which I don't mind. They do have some, but yeah. This is DMC, closest to DMC 3862. Yeah. This was quite a big piece as well. I think it's an 1/8. Fat 1/8. Yep, love it. And this is going to be a bit of a time consumer because I will have to make sure that I put it on, put everything back. This is 16th, I think. 28 count old linen, which is looking quite purple on screen, but the color is approximately DMC 645. It is really brownish. Yeah, not showing. But if you look up DMC 645, you'll get a better idea. DMC, this is old moss, 28 count. This is a bigger piece because it was there and I loved it. It's similar to the green that I stitched my husband on, the fish, but it's darker. It is closest to DMC 469, and this is a bit more mottled, as you may be able to tell. So this is really an really olive green, dark olive green. 469. And then we have another 28 count linen in navy blue. Closest color I could find was 798. It's a bit on the purple blue side. It's shown up really, really bright. It's not that bright, but the color is pretty close. A bit lighter maybe, a bit more faded. Navy blue. Then we arrive at the 32 counts. I don't have a lot of them, I think. Oh yeah, I do. These are smaller again. This is Sea of Mud. This is a really small piece. Showing up pretty close. A Sea of Mud is closest to 3790, DMC 3790. Or maybe the new color 7. This is 32 count teal green light. I couldn't find an exact match, but 926 is pretty close. It's what it says on the tin. Teal green light. Love this. Then we have the 32 count in sampler blue light. Closest I could find was 931. It's a bit of a jeans blue, I guess, blue jeans, but then really blue jeans. And then we come into the high counts, the 36 count, dark desert. And this I found resembles best 3859. It's showing up pretty accurately. Just a small piece. This I'm not sure what I will do with it because it is quite Halloweeny, so not sure. And then we have, totally out of my comfort zone, dark violet, 36 count. And this is close to 3041, 3041. Showing up pretty accurate. It's all showing up a bit darker, more saturated than in real life. This is also more mottled, as you can see. Yeah, I'm going to have to look hard and find something for this because I knew this was an experiment, but yeah. Then this one, I think I'm going to use this one for the pumpkin piece that I showed. This is 36 count dark mocha. Now this is showing up really orangey brown, and in fact it's really more greeny brown, yellowy brown. Yeah, this is not showing up. It is closest to 3781. Yeah, it's not showing, it's showing orangey to me. And it's definitely not, it's more greeny, yellowy brown. No, nope. Okay, you're gonna have to check that. That's 3781. It's the closest color. And yeah, I'm gonna stitch this one on there, I think. And that's why I had all these DMC colors. Ooh. Because I think that will work very well on this. Very autumny. I know it's terrible what I'm showing you. Okay, I don't know how to show this better. But yeah, I think it's gonna work out really well on there. So yeah, that's gonna be another start. And that's all my fabrics. Oh yeah, and I got some freebies. But she didn't have a name for them, so no idea. And I think they were 32 count. Yeah, they are 32 count. Really like light coffee stain. Looked like a really milky coffee, like a latte maybe. It's a latte, I don't know. And this is a really lovely sea glass color. Yep. I will find something for these. So that's all, and now I'm gonna stop because the next part of this video, well, I'm gonna stop buying definitely because I have everything I need in my lifetime to stitch. But I told you previously there were some exhibitions going on that I would love to get a chance to visit. I'm going to, yay, with friends, yay, hopefully. Coming week I'm going to visit sampler exhibition in the Netherlands. I will add a picture here. With Linda, who was a participant in a Needles in Paradise retreat. And she lives close by there, so we're going to go together, which I love. And there was someone who contacted me and asked me, because she was going to be in the neighborhood, if she could drop in as well. And you're happy to. I'm going to have to find your comment and leave you a comment when we're going. But yeah, really look forward to it. The museum itself is it's previously owned by a family of, they had a paper mill, so they produced paper for ages and ages, and they were a rich family, and they sort of converted their home into a museum, which I love. And they have it all set up in that style from that period with furniture and things. And somehow they also have room to exhibit things like samplers, so I'm really looking forward to see that place. Only downside is that it's already been really warm in the Netherlands, but next week they are predicting really hot. For our country, really hot, so 32 to 35 degrees Celsius, which is a heat wave for us. And it's been dry, and I'm really curious to see how hot it will be inside that museum. But yeah, we're just gonna have some fun. Really looking forward to that, and of course I will try and take some pictures for you guys. And if you get a chance to visit, I'm sure it will be lovely. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it will be worth it. Entrance is only €5, so can't go wrong. And I'm going to Cambridge. So I will insert the picture of the exhibit again here. But yeah, sampled lives in the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge. I have managed to check out a reasonable hotel as well as a flight, and I've booked. So I'm going in September to Cambridge, and Emma is hopefully joining us, and Tina in Simply in Stitches hopefully joining us. We're still making plans, but yeah, how great will that be? And I have an extra day because I saw Tash, the star cross stitcher, posting pictures of the Victoria and Albert Museum textiles, and that's been on my list as well. And Cambridge isn't that far by train from London, so I'm planning to go to the Victoria and Albert as well for a day. So yeah, oh yeah, I'm so looking forward to that. I don't have a Dutch fact, do I? No, sorry, can't think of one. I will have one next time, because then we have visited Zaandam, which is an old Dutch town with all typical Dutch buildings. So I'm sure I will have something to share on that front. I hope to visit the windmills there. They have a really big line of windmills there as well. So definitely, hopefully have something for you then, but sorry, forgot. I do have a shout out, because one of the people that has been subscribed for me since forever has made a few Flosstube videos that I didn't find until a few weeks ago and didn't get a chance to watch until this week. And please go check out our friend Emily Weber. I will link her channel below. I don't think she's posted anything recently, so I'm hoping that maybe this will inspire her to make another one. But yeah, go check out her videos. She's a lovely stitcher, and she's really fun to listen to. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to share, and it's been a really long video, so yeah. There's only one more thing I wanted to share, because I forgot that I had it lying here. But yeah, there's several shops in the Netherlands. There are several shops in the Netherlands that I purchased from, and for my gentle arts, because my own LNS doesn't carry them, and Weeks Dye Works she doesn't carry either. So for those I tend to go to Thistles, which is she's also a designer, so you might recognize the name and the emblem. She does really nice primitive designs as well, and I will add her website down below. But I usually buy my Weeks and Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks from her, or from them I should say. There are a couple, and they always add a lovely little embellishment, and this time it was this lovely little button. But yeah, go check them out if you hadn't heard of them. You might enjoy their patterns as well. I think they sell online internationally, so I think that's it. That's all I have, and I think it's plenty. Next time will probably be briefer. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have the sale going on, I think, as well as my report from the museum. Who knows? Anyway, I think that's all I had to mention. So I am just going to say thank you for watching. I know people are struggling with their health, with their mental issues, with loss. You know, I'm thinking about you. I'm sending you good thoughts, good vibes, and everything I can possibly send you virtually and overseas. And I hope you are all well, and I hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Bye, guys.